Hello everyone, today we're going to be predicting week 2 of the NFL season 2025. As you can see, week 1 I went 12-4. I got the Chargers-Chiefs game wrong. The Saints-Cardinals game, I still have no idea why I picked Saints. The Seahawks 49ers game wrong, and the Lions Packers game wrong. And of course my tiebreaker was way off. So moving on to week 2. The first matchup is the Washington Commanders facing the Green Bay Packers. The Commanders had a really good victory. I've forgotten who they beat. Who did they win? They beat the Giants 21-6. The Packers, I think the Packers just had a better performance against a better team, so I'm going for the Packers for this one. Next we have the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Cincinnati Bengals. The Jaguars picked up a good win against the Panthers. The Bengals tend to get stronger as the season develops if they can get the offensive line and the defense sorted. I think the Bengals will win this one. 91% of other people agree. Next we have the New York Giants against the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys, despite losing one of their best players to the Packers, they actually did really well against the Eagles. Spitgate aside, and the Giants, well, it's always next year. I'm picking the Cowboys. I'm not even looking at the percentage. Well, I think that says it all. Next we have the Chicago Bears against the Detroit Lions. Both teams lost their opening game against a division rival. This one's going to be hard, but I think I'm going with the Lions. They let me down last week, but I think they're probably going to have some teething issues with they lost both their coordinators. I still think the Lions will have the best chance of winning this one. Next, we have the Los Angeles Rams against the Tennessee Titans. The Rams had a really good victory against the Texans. Offensively, they didn't do a lot. Defensively, they held the Texans to only 9 points. 3 field goals. The Titans, they lost to the Broncos. It was a close game against a strong defense. But I do think that the Rams offense should be better than the Broncos offense, so I'm going with the Rams to win this one. Next we have the New England Patriots against the Miami Dolphins. Now this one is going to be tricky to pick because both teams lost. The Patriots losing to the Raiders, the Dolphins getting blown out by the Colts. But since it's been played in Miami, I'm actually going to go against majority and pick Dolphins with this one. And I hope I don't live to regret it. Yeah. Next, we have the San Francisco 49ers facing the New Orleans Saints. Sorry, pardon me. 49ers picked up a divisional win against the Seahawks. Yes, they just released their kicker, Moody. But I still think that the 49ers should be able to pick up the win even without a kicker. So I'm going with the Niners. And I still hate to pick them. Next we have the Buffalo Bills against the New York Jets. The Bills, a very good comeback victory against the Ravens. They almost had Vikings. No, the Vikings beat the Bears. The Jets had a closely fought loss to the Steelers. Honestly, I think this match will be closer than the 97-3 that you can see. I am going with the Bills because I don't think the Jets defense will be able to contain Josh Allen. Next we have the Seattle Seahawks against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Seahawks let me down last week by losing to the 49ers against the Steelers, who beat the Jets in a very closely fought game. I don't think the Seahawks are going to do very much against the Steelers. I'm going with Pittsburgh. Next we have the Cleveland Browns against the Baltimore Ravens. The Browns, they lost barely to the Bengals. The Ravens, they lost barely to the Bills. Honestly, I think this one, I'm leaning towards Baltimore. But I don't think it will be that. I don't think it will be a blowout. Let's have the Denver Broncos against the Indianapolis Colts. This one, this one could go either way. I honestly don't know. The Broncos and the Colts, they both won week 1. Broncos have a good defense. The Colts had a really good offense. I'm going with Indianapolis again. Because, again, it's a home game as well. I think that will help the Colts. And it turns out majority opinion is against the Colts again. Just like last week. Next we have the Carolina Panthers taking on the Arizona Cardinals. The Panthers, yeah, honestly, losing to the Jaguars, it does suck. The Cardinals, they outperformed my expectations and beat the Saints. Honestly, I want the Cardinals to keep winning against NFC South opponents because I like the Buccaneers and the Rams. So I don't want the Cardinals to keep winning, but at the same time I do. So I'm picking Cardinals. Is that pick? We did. Next is going to be a rematch of the Super Bowl. The Philadelphia Eagles take on the Kansas City Chiefs. The Eagles, a closely fought victory against the Cowboys. The Chiefs, a closely fought loss to the Los Angeles Chargers. Honestly, this has been played in Arrowhead. It does make it seem like it's going to be more 50-50. I'm going with Philadelphia to get the win here. And we'll see if I live to get that one. Next we have the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Minnesota Vikings. The Falcons, they lost the Buccaneers by 3 because their kicker missed a game time field goal. The Vikings, it came close against the Bears, but I do think that the Vikings do have more talent. I'm picking Minnesota. Next we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Houston Texans. The Buccaneers, closely fought but well-earned victory over the Falcons. They proved everyone wrong that maybe drafting a wide receiver in the first round was a good idea. And then the Texans, the Rams defense didn't let them do anything. I am going with the Bucs to get the win, even though it's been played in Houston. And finally, we have the Los Angeles Chargers taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. Chargers, a great victory against the Chiefs in Brazil. And the Raiders, a decent victory against the Patriots. This one, I'm going to have to lean the Chargers. Sorry, I thought my Browns are just throws. I don't think the Raiders will be good enough to take down the Chargers. How many total points were scored in Chargers versus Raiders? This one I actually haven't written down ahead of time, but I'm going to make it up on the spot. It's going to be 24-9. I'm guessing 33. I think I guessed 33 last time, so I'm going with 33 again, because why not? And there we have it. Week 2 predictions. All done. Nothing too crazy this week apart from the picking the Colts. There is a lot of chance for upsets. And I'll see how it goes. Week 1 went quite well. 12-4. Pretty solid. I'm not complaining about 12-4. But we have to keep getting at least 100 points each week if we want any chance to finish anywhere near the top of this picking league. It's ultra competitive. 10 people got all 16 correct. Yep, only 10. That does mean that either they got incredibly lucky, or they read the script ahead of time. So I'll see you next week.